Let's continue this. Okay, so here let this number NUM1 and NUM2 has values, or they are having values, say 356.90, the value of NUM1, and for the other it is 369. Okay, so then how it will display or store in respective memory location? It doesn't display, store it in memory location. So this will be stored in a memory location as it is, that is 356.90. But here we have entered it as an integer number, that we have typed through the keyboard 369. This will be stored as 369.0. They are stored respectively for this input statement. Fine. Now, suppose this floating point input is long, then I have to specify this in a character group using this, say SCAN, scanf, this one percent symbol, and say long. This we require for a double precision, that is for the more accuracy. Okay, say input is double type, that is accuracy. We have discussed this double, say NUM. Now, sometimes I want to restrict that number, real point number. Okay, so giving field specification, this is L, this is L. So when I give a field specification for a real number is integer part, decimal point, and mantis or fractional part. Okay, so if I write here an example, scanf, okay, this percent, here if I write this 5, and say I'll write and here, and radius. Okay, this is. Now I want to write the value of the radius, input through the, say, keyboard. Suppose I write this as, so field width here, width of the word, it is 5. Okay, that includes integer part, decimal point, and fractional part. Okay, so here if I enter this number, say 2.34 as a radius, there are only 4 characters, see, 1, 2, 3 and 4. In this case, what happens? We have given here 5 and we are fitting only 4 characters. So what happens to this? So this number contains only 4 characters including the decimal point, but the field specification is 5 as we write here. So the leading space is replaced by value called as blank space, that is this leading is from this side, that is replaced by blank space. Now if I write with this a number, say 23.46, right, value of the radius. Look at this, the 5 specification, that is field width is 5, field is 5 digit number here, that including decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be as it is. Okay, for long precision we can write LF, and for the field specification you can give this So this is about what is called as floating point input. We have what is called as character input also. Character input. Let us discuss this. What we are discussing, students friend, we are discussing formatted input. We are discussing about the scanf function and the possibility. Here in the control string, it may be integer number, it may be real point number. What are the possibilities? How to write it and how to match with this variable list. It may be integer variable, it may be float variable, it may be character variable or a string variable or a constant, whatever it is. So possible cases we are discussing here with examples. Say character input. Character input. Character input. In some applications, we require a character constant or a string constant as an input. In accepting a character constant using a scanf formatted input, we write character, that is %c to read a single character or %s to read a string, right? So here in scanf we write %c for a character, single character. You can say we specify the number of characters, it will read as it is. If I want to write or input a string, then you have to use this. So %s, this field is used for a string constant. This is used for a character constant or a character variable. It is used for a constant, not variable. Say for example, here I am using this. I'll write scan, okay. Say this is %c. This is symbol. This is to be completed and this is to be given comma and then terminate with semicolon. This is one statement we can write. Okay, so let's go for another. Okay, now I want to write some name. Okay, so using scanf, scan SCAN, okay, this, then person, that is double quote, % symbol. I'll write what is the number of characters here, that is in between % symbol and this C. I'll write 10 and C. Okay, close this and say, I will not specifically 10 as required in a program. Say here I'll write name. This variable list doesn't require amperes and here because it is a string. It is a string. Now, this gives the number of characters or the field specification width, right? Width of the character here. So when I use this as an input, this is a string constant. I should declare it in the declaration section. If I want to input this, that is say for example CHAR character, it's a keyword, and then I want to write the name, and then in square bracket you have to write this as a 10. This is 10. This gives the one-dimensional array, that is name here. Say for example, the name is something say Basav Rajendra. Okay, name is Basav Rajendra. CHAR. Look at the characters. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right? So it will store in a memory that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to this. Okay. So first 10 characters will be stored and the remaining will be ignored by the machine because you have declared only the size of the array. Here it is 10. Suppose it is 20 or say 15, this would have been included here. Sometimes you can declare this. So any character or a string constant, if you want to give as an input, that should be declared in the declaration section. It should be declared its size and then it is used in the input statement here, that too in a formatted input statement. There are many things you can read about this. I'll give an example here, that is writing a message. Here, let me write this scanf. Okay, this is formatted input. We should write in its parenthesis with a double quote, say % symbol. We have not used any letter here, that is say in square bracket with this caret sign and the backslash here n, close this. Okay, this is, and then message. Okay. You need not write amperes and here because it is a string constant. It is avoided here. Message. Now, I want to. This indicates that is new line. Turns it to new line. Printable characters. That is n is plus blackness with n. It takes the new line. Okay. And if you are putting or you are inputting a message, thus say like to learn and learn to like. It has good meaning. This is like to learn and learn to like. I like to learn. Being a teacher, this is learn to like because you are interested in learn it. Okay, it is good message. Fine. Now I want to type this message as an input and it should be displayed. So we are feeding to the machine with this scanf formatted input with this message. Okay. Now this message should be declared in the declaration section. And if you look at the number of characters it has, in declaration you should declare this as, okay, with its array one dimensional, that is say 34. Then you can input this. This is to be done in declaration section and then you should input this. This will give us the output. Fine. Sometimes we use this formatted input not only separately for integer, separately for floating. How many scanf you are going to write? A program will be lengthy. So interesting thing, we can use this scanner formatted input with this in a mixed mode. There may be integer input, there may be real point input, there may be character input, or there may be string constant input. So what is called as mixed mode input. Mixed mode input. Here what is to be remembered is the order, the type, okay. There should not be mismatch of the number of input variables, the data type and the order. Number of input variables, data type and the order. Let us take an example here. Scanf mixed mode input. Mixed mode input. In all the cases, writing a program using C language, that is giving the input statement using formatted input, people like this only because work will be over in one line. Scanf, I'll write scanf. So one example, mixed mode. This is insert double quote %D. Okay, you need not give a comma or blank space. Say %, yeah. Say %, yes. This is, look at this control string. I will close this and then comma. Look at this. One is decimal integer, real point number, and then string character or character string here. So I want to give the variable 1, 2, 3, say number, that is with amperes and comma, say and amount and name. Close this. Look at this. This is for, say, control string character group for a number. This is for amount, that is amount may be a real number, that is 2.2 rupees 30 paisa, like that. So amount and the name here. Now when you are inputting, you should give the data type. What is the data type? Number. It should be integer. Say for example, I want to feed 60 and then 44.50, the amount, and the name, say this. Okay, mine. Okay, this belongs to this, that is number. 44, that is floating point. We have not given any specification, that is amount. The name we should write here, but that should be declared earlier. Okay, suppose I made a mistake in feeding the input. You have written the statement in this fashion, and if I input the data like 60, say this, okay, name and then this, computer will accept only one input and it will not accept this because it doesn't match with this. This is character constant, whereas this is amount, that is floating, real point. This doesn't belong to real. This is string, whereas this is floating point. So it will show an error. It will accept only one input because there are 3 inputs. When we feed it properly, it accepts all 3. When we mismatch it, that is data type, say what is to be done here, that is input variables here, that is data type, then order should be matched with mixed mode inputs, otherwise it will show the error. So this is about formatted input. Let us go for the formatted output. Formatted output. So you have to read, you have to use them, then only one can learn about this. Otherwise it will be air. Already I am speaking in air, whether the people they go through it or not. I am preparing and I am delivering the things. It is up to you to use it. Point is, I have mentioned somewhere at the beginning, you can add a word of string, some characters, say you know basics of C language, that you can add in your resume or in your biodata. So that becomes, presently we require it, and the data or biodata or your resume seems to be complete if you learn with interest. Otherwise no question of asking anything about this. Formatted output. Formatted output. We have discussed so far formatted input, formatted output. See, this C language provides printf, this printf function to display data, processed data on the standard output device called as monitor. So it is a usual process. We input the data through a standard device called as keyboard and is interactive input method. I have discussed this. There are two methods, and here the processed data will be displayed on the standard output unit called as monitor, and the printf with this parenthesis is the formatted output function. Printf is nothing but print or write. In other languages like Fortran, Pascal, we call it as write. Read, that is input. Write means output. Or print or write. Okay. So the general format of this printf function is, I want to discuss the general format, syntax of printf. Print, this should be lowercase printf. Here in parenthesis, double quote, as usual, control string, variable list, list I will write in short, list. Okay, this is, and then sign. Now, to say something about the formatted output, we have printf. Scanf is formatted input, printf is formatted output. So, where this control string, what is there in this control string? This control string specifies the type and format of the values to be displayed. Specify the type and set format of the values to be displayed on the standard device, output device called as monitor. This is one. What is this control string? Even in scanf we had this control string. There it is a different meaning. Here it is a different meaning. Here the meaning of this control string specifies the type and format of the values of the variables to be displayed. Okay. This vary list written VARI vary list is the list of variables to be displayed on the monitor. Vary list or variable list, nothing wrong in it. It is a list of variables to be displayed. Let us take some examples on this and discuss them. Fine. Well, as in case of formatted input, we use this character table for formatted outputs only. Instead of use this read, you have to write it as refer it as say write or print. Better you refer it as a print, say here. Okay. I'll write for few. This is print. This is print. Same table with the same character group, meaning read or write or print. Okay, this will continue with this. Fine. Let's go for some examples here. Let me write here with this control string. Okay. I'll write formatted output. I'll write its format first. We are discussing formatted output. Okay, print print. Okay, print F is for function, and this general format, that is control string, and it should be written in double quote or separated by comma, and then variable list. Okay, list. This is general format. Let us take some examples of printf. That is, for this it should be small only. Printf. I'll write one example here. Example number 1. Print, that means you are giving the command print to a computer. Formatted printf, that is output function, and the control string. Inside the control string you are writing programming is an art. Is an art. Then close this. What it tells now. The first statement here, the first example you can say, displays the sequences of characters enclosed within the pair of double quotes. This, no variable list here, it can print this. Programming is an art. Once you feed this with simple program, it will be, if you execute that program on a particular environment, okay, that is DOS or any other things, Unix, it will print this, display this, called as output. This is one example. Let me take one more example, that is example number 2. Printf, say %d. same, close this comma, number. It is same thing, only thing this variable list number doesn't preceded with amperes and. Here in output it's not required, only in scanf it is required, that too for a particular type of data. Okay, for a constant or a string data type it is not required. Okay, here this %d, that is this, it is print a decimal integer and the integer is this, number is this. So I write one more example here, print f, that is in double quote %f, say %f, complete this with a comma, say pq. I told here that amperes and is not required. Thus, if you write, it will show an error. Right. This example number 3 displays the content of variable p and q on the monitor in this format, that is real point number. It displays the content of p and q, the variables, in real point number. Let me write the fourth example, example number 4. Say printf sum of three numbers, that is equal to. Okay, here we are giving data type, that is D, and then we are closing this comma, and then we are writing this. What will be output of this? If the sum of three number is, say, 999, sum of three number is, say, 999. What are these three numbers? We are not given. The output of this will be, okay, output of this will be, say, sum of three numbers, equal to, that is sum, okay, that is 999 point, because it is decimal. It is a decimal, it gives only 999. Okay, so you can